Alfred Hitchcock once explained suspense like this. If two people are having a normal conversation and a bomb suddenly goes off, the audience is surprised, sure, but also confused. Show the bomb under the table beforehand, though, and now you have tension. That's the essence of a great thriller, controlling information. Give the audience too much and they get bored, too little and they get lost. It's a delicate balance, one that's notoriously difficult to get right, which makes it all the more impressive that today's subject, Kaiji Ultimate Survivor, pulls it off so effortlessly. Kaiji started life in the 90s as a manga written and illustrated by Nobuyuki Fukumoto. It's apparently still ongoing and got an anime adaptation in 2007 from Madhouse. I'll be focusing on the anime here since I haven't actually read the manga. Yes, boo me in the comments. The story follows Kaiji Ito. To put it bluntly, he's kind of a loser. He's drifting through life with no real direction, burning what little money he has on gambling. But hey, at least it's regular gambling and not gacha games. He's not at that particular level of hell yet. Unsurprisingly, this leaves him drowning in debt, with no realistic way to pay it off through a normal job. That's when a shady man named Tonegawa offers him a way out. Take part in a night of high-stakes gambling aboard a ship. Win, and Kaiji clears his debt and gets a fresh start. Lose, and things start to get ugly. And when I say ugly, I don't mean like you lose your money. I mean like you start reconsidering every life decision that led you here. The first season adapts the manga's opening arc, Gambling Apocalypse. Yes, really, it sounds like an overdramatic name, but it kinda isn't. Right from the start, Kaiji excels at building tension in every single gamble. The first game he plays is just rock, paper, scissors, except with cards. What follows are multiple episodes of pure psychological warfare, mind games, strategy, and constant twists. Over rock, paper, scissors. And it works because the show understands exactly what to show you and what to hide. As a rule, we only know as much as Kaiji does. We hear his inner monologue constantly, watching every calculation and doubt as it happens. You're right there with him every step of the way. This serves two purposes. First, it makes Kaiji likable. He isn't some hyper-genius mastermind thinking 10 steps ahead. He's just a normal guy trying to survive. He wants to pay off his debt and spend money on what really matters. You know, video games, manga, the essentials. Second, it massively increases the tension. Everyone else in these games is just as desperate, if not more. This isn't some light-hearted fun, it's survival. Every decision matters and everyone is willing to lie, cheat, and manipulate to win. You never know if Kaiji has found a genuine ally or if he's about to get completely played. And if the show just told you who to trust, all that tension would disappear instantly. Another element that helps build tension is the stakes. A lot of stories assume higher stakes automatically mean more tension, but that's not really true. Think about it. How many stories threaten the fate of the entire world, and how many actually go through with it and destroy the world? Yeah, there's a point later where Kaiji is in a literal life or death situation, and weirdly, I felt less tense for him. Because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, the show's called Kaiji, we still have like 10 episodes left to go, the dude's not dying here. If the stakes are get this right or the planet blows up, it ironically just makes you assume the protagonist's gonna win. But if the stakes are, for example, get this right or we cut off your ear, now that's terrifying, because that's something the story might actually follow through on. And this is because Kaiji avoids one of the biggest tension killers in storytelling, plot armor. Yes, Kaiji doesn't die, obviously, but if you think that makes him unbeatable, you would be very wrong. The guy loses. Badly. And more than once. Honestly, by the end of the season, my boy might have more L's than W's. And that's what makes the tension feel real. If Kaiji just kept winning over and over, then lost at the very end, okay, that might be surprising, but it wouldn't be tense. We would be right back at the bomb goes off out of nowhere problem. And by letting him fail, the show makes every win feel earned. He's not coasting by, he's clawing his way out of hell, one desperate gamble at a time. And yeah, you can't help but root for him. His losses also highlight just how cruel the villains are. The real antagonists aren't just the players, it's the people running the games, these Patrick Bateman / Yakuza types who treat human suffering like entertainment. Tonegawa is the enforcer, but above him is the chairman, the one truly pulling the strings. Now, I'll call Kaiji a lot of things, but subtle isn't one of them. These guys are cartoonishly evil, like mustache-twirling evil. And while that does make them very easy to hate, it also leads to one of my few issues with the show. It can get pretty heavy-handed. The anime clearly has something to say about people like Kaiji, young men who feel stuck, ignored, and crushed by society. That's an interesting angle. But sometimes the villains keep going on speeches about how everyone is worthless garbage, and it just starts to feel like the show doesn't trust the audience to get the point. I understand the message, I even agree with parts of it. I just don't need them to hit me over the head with it every 5 minutes. Speaking of controversial aspects, let's talk about the art style. It's the first thing you notice. Yes, Kaiji could absolutely stab somebody with his nose. Yes, it's weird that such a grounded thriller looks like this. But honestly, you get used to it. And more importantly, the animation itself is solid. The show never feels cheap or lazy. Everything is directed in a way that enhances the tension. Well, okay, except for the 3D assets, but to be fair, bad CGI is basically an anime tradition at this point. The sound design, on the other hand, is fantastic. The opening and ending tracks are memorable, and the music during the games themselves does a great job at building tension. You've also got the background voices chanting like Zawa, Zawa, which I'm pretty sure just means something bad is about to happen. It sounds a little goofy at first, but it actually starts stressing you out after a while. Overall, Kaiji is a criminally underrated anime. It only got 2 seasons, leaving a lot of the manga unadapted, but what we do have is some of the best suspense anime you're ever gonna find. I was watching it late at night before bed, and I actually had to stop because it was interfering with my sleep. And if a show about rock, paper, scissors can do that, I think that says everything. And those are my thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any uploads. I recently did a straw poll on the community tab on my YouTube channel, and it was a pretty even 50-50 split between anime and video games as the subject of the next video. So I did an anime review. Next week, I'm reviewing a video game. So stick around, and thanks for watching.